Hello, my name is Carole. This is my channel, So Carole, and I thought I'd update you on how I'm getting on with my Brother 380D embroidery machine. Now, I bought this about 3 weeks ago, I think now. I put an initial unboxing video up and I had no clue then about this machine at all. Never used one, never seen one demonstrated. So now I'm sort of 3 weeks in, I thought I would give you an update on what I've learnt about the machine, about embroidery, and where I'm going to go from here. I thought this might be helpful to anybody that's thinking about buying a machine, because obviously I've got the unboxing video, but I wasn't that good then, and kind of 3 weeks on I've learnt a lot. So I hope you enjoy this video and feel free to send me any messages, any questions in the boxes below. Now, I bought this machine online from So Essential Limited. They're in the UK, up in Derbyshire, I think. I have bought some other machines from them before, so I was confident that I would, get the machine in good time. So obviously I hadn't seen it at all. And I showed you in my initial videos, we got all the instruction leaflets and the embroidery designs. I've since then bought an additional embroidery hoop, but I may go onto that further. But all in all, I'm really, really pleased with the machine. I'll show you a couple of things that I'm really happy with. This is obviously the machine switched on. It's got the embroidery carriage in. I don't know if you can just see that to the side. This has got the touch screen where you choose a design you want to do. It's really cool. You can move it around, you can move the design, you can resize some of them, you can add some text if you wanted to add some text. You've got the forward and back button. It's so cool. I just love the fact you can choose things. You can change their colours. It tells you what colours to do. You can remove it down. You can actually do it with your fingers, or you can just use the buttons to resize it. It's got the best threader of a needle I have ever come across. It works every single time. I'll do it for you now actually. So after threading the top, you follow the numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, cut it off on 8. You make sure the foot's down, then you just press this lever and ta-da! It's threaded. I have never had a threader that works as good as that. When I'm in sewing mode, it also tells me when the lower bobbin is running low, which is a game changer, because we have all had that thing where we're sewing and sewing and sewing, and then you pull, when you finish the seam, you pull it away and you realise it hasn't been sewing whatsoever. So this warning here on this screen telling me that the bobbin's running low is amazing. It is a very good machine. It's a very quiet machine, much quieter than my Genome. The only thing, although I've got the embroidery foot on at the moment, when it has the standard foot on, the only thing for me is the needle is slightly to one left side. If you want it to run in the middle of the foot, if you want it to run centre, you have to move it over. That for me is slightly odd, easy to do, but not having the needle coming down in the centre of the foot for me is very strange, but that's just something I've got to get used to. But embroidery wise, I've set it up here. I've got the tension on 2 because that's what they suggest. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Now, what have I bought and what have I learnt about it? So I'm going to show you just a couple of things that I bought and done since a couple of things we bought. When you get a new machine, you've got to buy some bits. So this is the hoop that it came with. That's perfect. It's 10 by 10. I know you can get bigger ones or smaller ones on different machines, but I did notice that you had a little symbol saying some of them take a smaller hoop. So I literally came today, so I haven't used it yet, but there's also a smaller hoop. Now that'll be more suitable for baby items, but it's the proper one, so that's going to be so much better for doing something on a baby item or a smaller item. Now, stabilizers, everybody said to me, stabilizer is really important. And yes, it is. When I first did some of the designs with my unboxing video, I had some very crumpled stabilizer. So Essential have sent me this amazing tearaway stabilizer. It's lovely and flat, so it's not crinkled, and it's the tearaway stuff, which I have been told is one of the best things to use. But what I've also found is that if I'm doing a t-shirt, then obviously we all know it gets a bit scratchy on the back of it. So I've also been using this stuff. This is Sulky Tender Touch, and you just cut out a patch and you put it on the inside, iron it on the inside, and it's a nice sort of soft cover and stops it being so scratchy. So that's been brilliant. So I've got a couple of, this is a second packet, I've got a couple of those to keep me going. I've also got washable stabilizer, and I've also got the, if you're making tea towel, design on tea towels, you need that plastic covering on the top. It's like a water soluble plastic, and it makes sure that the stitches don't sink down into the pile. So like fleece or something like that, or towel. So you'll cut a piece of that, so that's good as well. Now, my wonderful friend Andra from Andra Makes, I'll link her channel below because she's amazing. She said to me to float the design. The best way to do is to float the design. So you put the stabilizer in the hoop, but that's all you put in the hoop. And then you use stick and spray, spray the design. I'll show you in a minute when I do a piece, and then you stick the fabric down using that. Now this has been brilliant. But what I've found is the minute you spray it, it goes everywhere. So excuse how crude this is, but I've made, you can see I've used it a lot, but I've made a frame. So I put that over the top and then I spray so the glue isn't going on the frame. So that's kind of an idea, but obviously a lot better than this one. You can see I bodged some bits of cardboard together, but it's definitely done, it's done the trick and protected the hoop itself, and also the fabric around and the area around. I've also bought lots more threads. I love colours, so I bought a huge box of threads. I was given a smaller one, Brothreads. These are amazing. The minute I had the proper threads, it made the world of difference. When I started off, I was using a Gutermann machine embroidery thread and a Brother bobbin, and the two didn't gel at all. So now I've got all the same threads, it works so much better. So that's another thing I've learnt. Needles was the next thing. Obviously the machine came with needles. When I came to do my first bit of jersey, I automatically thought as a sewist, I need a jersey needle, or do I need an embroidery needle? I got really confused. I did use a jersey needle, and I did a design that took about 30 minutes. When I got to the end of that, it had got to the last 2 stitches and the needle just snapped. The needle was really warm and it just bent and snapped. So I think that it just couldn't take the pressure of the repeated embroidery. Just need a stronger needle for that. So I've now got some embroidery needles where on the back it actually says for knitted fabrics as well. So that's the way forward for me. So that's another thing. Now, I'm sure lots of you know all this, but in case you don't, because I knew nothing, I just thought I'd tell you. All in all, I'm so happy with it. I'm now going to show you a little design that I had in mind that I've seen on the Artspira app. So I want to transfer something from the Artspira app, which seems to be the Brother app. It's also for their scan and cut designs, but it does have embroidery designs on as well. I kind of like the look of one of their designs, so I just click on the app. I've registered the app and the machine together, so it knows what machine I've got. They do free designs, which is just amazing, and they've got new ones coming all the time. But I have seen one that I like the look of. So they've got all the seasons. I want animals, and if I scroll down, I really liked the look of this giraffe. So this giraffe is the small ones, 35mm by 41. It's going to take 3 minutes. It tells you the stitch count and the 3 colours I need. So I like that one. So I press create, Now obviously I've got this set up for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and they're talking to each other. So I now want to transfer this. I think I can change it if I wanted to, but I want to transfer it. It already knows where it wants to go. So I press transfer and this is just a warning sign. So I'm just going to click OK. So it's now telling me it's transfer. Data transfer is complete. Excellent. So now I've got to find it on my machine. So we have this little pocket here, which I think is meant to be sort of for files. And then you've got one with a cloud and a pocket. So it's now going to connect the two things together. Just saying, please wait a while. Takes a few minutes. And there it is. It's on my machine. So it's sent it now to my machine. What I do notice is I can use it in the big hoop or I can use it in the small hoop. Now that's amazing because I've just bought a small hoop. So I want to save that to myself now. I click on it, telling me it's 4 kilobytes. No idea what that means. I now want to save it. So it's got a little arrow going into my pocket. And I'm going to save it to the machine because I haven't got a USB stick in at the moment. So I'm going to save it to my machine. Saving. As I say, takes a long time, like most things. So that's okay, so it should be there. So if I go back to the beginning again and I look in my pocket and see what I have saved on the machine, there he is. Oh, I've actually done it twice. I've done it before. These are a couple of other ones that I'd saved as well. So I know I can go in there and I can do that one. And I'm actually going to do that. I've got a little project that I'd like to put that on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I've put the vest, I kept saying baby grow, but it's actually a vest. So I put the vest in the little embroidery hoop. I put the stabilizer and I've stuck the vest to it. I've got the design, I chose the giraffe. Now I'm just going to check that it's going to fit in that hoop and where it is. So I need to put that down. And if I press this button here, it tells me exactly the size it's going to be, goes all the way around, and I can then check that nothing's in the way, no bits of the vest are going to be in the way of it threading. I've got the first colour done, so I'm going first colour all threaded, so I'm going to go ahead, press the button and set it off. It's just finishing its little black bit of embroidery now, doing the little ears and the spots and the eyes, and it should be finished. So I'm going to take it out and remove all the jump stitches and then we can have a look. Little vest all done with a little giraffe. It came out quite well. That dot there is just the heat erasable pen that I just need to get rid of. It's not too bad on the back at all. I've torn off the stabilizer. I'm going to put a little bit of that Sulky touch stuff on the back on it. But it's not quite central. If I was doing it properly rather than rushing it, I would have got that central. But I'm really pleased with that because that was the first design that I've tried that I've downloaded to the machine. I hope you've enjoyed this little get to know me and the Brother 380D. It's called D because it's got the Disney fonts, but there is one very similar with all the same features. But thank you very much for joining me, and if you want to see any more of my videos, then I release a video on a Friday under the hashtag Friday Sews. I'll put a link to my channel at the end. Thanks again and see you very soon.